Good evening, and welcome to tonight's performance of The Amish Project. We ask out of courtesy to the audience and performers to turn completely off, any devices you may have. Flash photography is prohibited. If you have a noisy or crying child, please escort them to the lobby. Restrooms are located in the lobby and the basement of Pioneer Hall and in the link. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse. Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
And opens fire.
Best letter to write is lowercase f. The lawn swirls. Capital G's are hard. And capital I's. I like lowercase f and lowercase k. Want to hear a trick my teacher Miss Emma taught us? Lowercase k actually looks like a kangaroo. See? This is the mommy's body, and this is her baby in her pouch. She's a marsupial. And these are her long feet that can help her jump, and this is her big, long tail. Here, let's draw a hat on her, like Papa's. I'm always adding hats. This is where I left my tooth last week. Guess what this is? This is my mama, and this is my papa. He really wears a hat. My mama wears a bonnet like this. Like this. And this is our horse, Cisco. He pulls the buggy. And this is our cat, Beasley. And this is my brother, Jacob. And my little brother, Elam. And this is my sister, Anna. She has long hair with skull of corn and pink fingernails and stinky feet and pretty pink lips.
The first thing I see is flowers. Flowers in the bright daylight behind our house. And my papa, working in the field, over and beyond the hill. I'm like a bird. I can see where his shirt is darker blue from his sweat, and the dark circle of his hat. Suddenly, I'm in the kitchen with Mama. She's sewing and humming. Mama only hums when she doesn't know you're there, but she has a nice voice. The shadow in the room casts a long brown blanket over her, hiding the little mole on her neck right where her dress starts. I always touch it when I stand next to her at the table. She is finishing the final squares on a quilt. Maybe it's for the new baby in the Zook family. Black squares with blue and white triangles, rows and rows of stitches. She shifts in her chair, revealing the little mole on her neck. I reach out to touch it, and she gasps. Then, I'm in the field again. But it is dark. The moon is out. I recognize the pump next to the schoolhouse, but the school isn't there. Just a dark square.
TV sucks. I mean, really, it sucks. Sometimes in the afternoon I'll turn it on, just for a change, you know. And all the colors and fake people are like a rope around my neck. There's men talking about cars, women talking about women, someone's wiping a countertop, someone's eating a bug with a helmet on, And some middle-aged couple is taking a pill, so the moment lasts. But go to the emergency room if the moment lasts for more than 4 hours. Literally, my airway tightens. The news is the worst. Something bad happens and you can just see them salivating. Literally, the newscasters frothing at the mouth. This just in!
This just in!
We don't watch TV anymore. I was in the grocery store this morning, and it occurred to me for the first time. I was in the hygiene aisle trying to find the lotion with the SPF or whatever, and no one ever tells you when you're in mourning you still worry about wrinkles. So now you know. So I'm reading the labels about the UVA and UVB, and wham! Just like that, I think, just because it's written on this label doesn't make it true. Something can be written down, FDA approved, FBI protected. Don't make it true. So I'm standing there, suddenly aware of the thousands of promises around me. On every little bottle and box, usually in some bright color, reduces wrinkles, prevents tartar, gives stronger bones. And I think, it's all BS. You can put your hand on a Bible and swear to tell the truth and still lie. The Bible. And then you think, what is the Bible? How is that any different from the words on my Advil bottle that says, eliminates pain? The Bible, proof of God. Really? Is that where we get this God thing? The Bible? And then there's some things that are true. Now that is sick. The Bible has some true stuff in it. People being nailed to crosses. Think of the sickest thing you've ever heard. Do it. Now. It was true, wasn't it? It was something that really happened. What happens to a person where you live in a world where you can't believe anything, and the things that you don't want to believe are actually true? You can swear in front of everybody you've ever known that this person before you is the one. You can promise to stand by them and love them and nurse them and give them pleasure and then let them nurse you and give you pleasure. Right there. Cheap tux, white dress. Swear in front of your family and your friends. Don't make it true.
Soon will be Anna's Rumspringa. That's when she has to decide whether or not to join the church. Some don't, but most do. And if they don't, we don't speak to them. During Anna's Rumspringa, she's allowed to wear makeup and say cuss words and kiss boys. And she can't get in trouble for it. I ask Anna every day if she will go far away for her Rumspringa, and she said she won't. But I'm not sure. For my Rumspringa, I'm going to go to the beach because I'm going to wear a bathing suit. A red one with flowers on it. It will show my breasts a little, but not too much. And a boy will fall in love with me, and I'll let him kiss me. And eventually, like after a month, the boy will ask me to marry with him. And I'll say, I can't marry you because you're not Amish. And he will say, oh, please, please. And I'll say, no, no, no. And he'll say, oh, please, 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 please. And I'll say, okay, but you have to become Amish. And he'll say, okay. And then I will bring him home to meet my family and my friends. And he will play with my brothers, and he will meet Anna. But he won't talk to her that much. And then he will become Amish. I can't wait to have breasts. Cows have breasts with milk in them. But that's That's not the same thing.
Well, I guess we're about ready to get started here. If everyone would want to grab a coffee and settle in, I'd like to offer a special thanks to the folks at the firehouse here for letting us use their place as Grand Central this week. We won't be here long tonight. It's been a long day for everyone. So, if everyone would want to grab a coffee and settle in, we'll get this press conference underway.
This Justin!
Schoolhouse gunman buys lotion with an SPF. Here at the BS channel, we have the exclusive interview. Now, Miss Stuckey, why did you choose a lotion with an SPF? Well, Craig, I realized if I'd taken better care of my skin and prevented wrinkles from my face, maybe my husband wouldn't have tried to molest little Amish girls. And, how do you like the SPF lotion so far? Oh, it's great. My fine lines are significantly reduced, and I love the smooth, greaseless finish.
You're probably wondering who the heck I am. My name is Bill North, and I'm a professor of American religion at the local university just down the road here, and a friend of Aaron Yoder and many of the other Amish families affected by this tragic event. Aaron has asked me to come here to speak to you about their ways, and naturally, I accepted. I've been studying and teaching about the Amish for 25 years now, and I'm grateful to help in any way that I can. We hope that by gathering here in this private way and talking a little bit about the Amish and their culture, we can answer any questions you may have, like, how could the Amish forgive such a thing?
Forgive such a thing.
And more importantly, it'll help us all to understand right now, especially now, their need for privacy. Aaron, is there anything you want to add? No? Okay. I've had the privilege of knowing Aaron here for about, 30 years now. So, let's dive in, shall we? You know, this tragedy happened to a private people. So, you came to help the Amish, or to print out their story. But see, that's a complicated thing right there. While the Amish themselves are pacifists, as a people, they are certainly no strangers to violence. There are many stories of tortures and executions, and they've pretty much been trying to keep to themselves ever since.
Guess what this is? Can you guess? It's Jesus.
I've known Aaron's family over the years, and I've known both of his daughters, Anna and Velda, and both exceptional little girls. Anna, very bright, often talked of becoming a teacher one day. Velda, also bright and often delightfully precocious. Aaron, do you mind if I share that little anecdote that Velda taught me last time? Velda taught me that
J
stands for
Jesus.
who comes first.
Y
Stands for
you.
who comes last. And
O
stands for
others.
who connect the two, giving you joy. I like that, giving you joy.
It's Jesus. See? This is the cross, and these are his hands and his feet. He has nails in them. One time I got a nail in my hand because I was playing with the wood by the barn, and I was trying to make a pen so my brother could be my piggy. And I got a nail in my hand. We had to clean it. It hurt so much. It was right in the middle of my hand, like Jesus. And I say to my mama, it's like Jesus. And she said, Jesus hurt for us. And this is his hat. Only Jesus really has a hat. A very special one.
I'm assuming you're all by and large strangers to this area. You'll see that it is a very beautiful and very peaceful countryside. I hope that you spend some time in our local restaurants, see some of the local sights. I also know you'll be learning about what happened here this week. But I ask you to look for more than that. There is more to hear than what happened on October 2nd.
We moved to Nickel Mines about 20 years ago, me and my husband Ray. We live on a farm about 4 miles out of town, and I work in the church part-time in the office there. On October 2nd, 2006, I was in my basement walking on our treadmill. We keep it in our basement, and I usually watch the news while I walk it out. I read the headline across CNN. Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
I lost my footing on the treadmill and fell off, like something you'd seen in a Jim Carrey movie. They kept showing these images over and over again. It was a bird's eye view. Amish families gathering in a green field. Clusters of men and women and boys and girls separate but close. White ambulances with red lights circled around a white schoolhouse. Tiny rectangles of bodies covered in sheets. Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
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 Then the shocking details began to emerge. This just in. He was the local milkman. He only shot the girls. At least 3 dead. Then the images again. A bird's eye. Amish families, separate but close. White ambulances, white schoolhouse. Bodies covered in sheets. The ticker tape running below. Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire. This just in. He intended to molest them. He shot himself. Death toll now 6. Bird's eye. Amish families, separate but close. White ambulances, white schoolhouse. Bodies covered in sheets. Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse and this just in. The Amish request that the remaining medical conditions of the girls be withheld. They extend forgiveness to the gunman. They extend condolences to the gunman's family. Bird's eye. Greenfield. Separate. But close.
Close.
White. Red. White. I thought, what kind of a sicko could do this?
The boys seem kind of numb. Sometimes I think they're the ones who are dead. The way they walk around the house, so quiet, sort of half lit. The way they sit at the table, slumped over, spooning their cereal. Little ghosts. And then suddenly, I'm painfully aware of how alive they are. I can see the veins beneath their skin, picture their little hearts, little lungs, pumping blood, oxygen every moment. Right inside their chests. Right across the table. They've learned to trust only each other now. They don't dare cling to me the way they used to. Maybe I'm the ghost. I'm sure if I could see me now, I'd be scared too. I keep my expectations low. That they sit at the table and eat. That's enough. That somehow I managed to put out 2 bowls, 2 spoons, a box of Frosted Flakes, that's Josh's favorite, and a box of Cocoa Puffs, that's Jeremy's favorite. On the table was some milk, and that they sit and eat and somehow get out the door to the carpool for the sitters. It's a miracle to me. A total miracle. That's a laugh. I'm talking about miracles. You want to hear a miracle? I still love my husband. I miss him. Last night, I could have sworn I saw him standing on the lawn. I go up and look out the window, middle of the night, and I could have sworn he was standing there, right where the grass meets the road. And I covered my eyes and said, "Go away." And when I looked again, he was gone.
Sir, please, shoot me first. Please, shoot me second.
Okay, first of all, you need to understand, most people think that Amish is just Amish, that they're all alike. But see, that's not exactly true. Some Amish use a computer for business, battery-powered. Some don't. Some have a phone at the end of their lane. Some don't. So, while on this side of the cultural fence, the Amish appear all alike, via their common symbols such as bonnets and buggies, the truth is there are an infinite number of factors in determining how each district negotiates being Amish in the modern world. But the Amish do have a basic code of living, and they call it the Ordnung. The Ordnung can best be summed up by the Pennsylvania Dutch word "aufgeben," to give up. You see, the Amish give up their individual needs to the community. A perfect example are the barn raisings the Amish are so known for. When it's time for a raising in Amish land, it's like a home football game for us. People come, they cook and eat. There's enthusiasm and camaraderie. Except that instead of watching the players do something for its own sake, Amish fun involves chipping in to make something useful for a neighbor. It's the same way the women quilt. They don't separate work and leisure like we do. This is their joy.
Our ancestors were martyrs. You're a martyr if you're killed for your beliefs.
Separation from us has been their most successful means of survival, really.
This is my favorite story from Martyr's Mirror. Dirk Willems was caught and convicted because he didn't believe that you should be baptized as a little baby. So the judge said, "Do you believe in baptizing little babies?" And Dirk Willems said, "No, I don't." And the judge said, "Then you're going to jail and be tortured and killed." And Dirk Willems said, "Okay." And then they put Dirk Willems in a tower in a castle surrounded by a big moat. But he was so smart that he tied a bunch of rags and made a rope. and he snuck out of the window and landed on the frozen ice on the moat. But a guard from the tower saw him escaping. So he followed him down the rope. But when he landed on the frozen ice on the moat, he was so fat from being a guard that he fell through. So the fat guard called out, "Help! Help!" And Dirk Williams heard his cry and didn't know what to do. But when he saw the fat guard was going to drown, he went back and pulled him from the icy water and saved his life. But then the fat guard arrested Dirk Rollins and threw him back in jail, where he was burned at the stake.
I work here at the Giant Food on Route 30. That's how I know the crazy guy's wife. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, she don't belong here. You're thinking, oh, there are other people in Lancaster besides the Amish? And the answer is, yeah. My mother's Puerto Rican, and I was born here. She got pregnant with me as soon as she got here, and that's why she named me America. She was 2 years older than me when she got pregnant. I'm 16. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, 16 and pregnant, she's a slut. Am I right? That's what my mother said. She said, I don't work every day at a filthy chicken factory so my daughter can be a cliche. She read that word in her Reader's Digest. I know it. I said, don't quote your Reader's Crigest to me. My father was some black guy she dated in New York, and he dumped her as soon as she got pregnant. But Demetrius is the only one I've ever been with, so I can't be a slut. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Demetrius, like from A Midsummer Night's Dream? Am I right? We read that play in English this year by Mr. William Shakespeare. I played Titania. Titania is totally fierce. She's all like sassy and beautiful, and she's got her man, but she's still independent. It was good casting. I'm thinking about doing my Titania speech for the mother-daughter night at school next month. You're supposed to have something memorized to recite. Demetrius and I might get married, but I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet. He ain't gonna dump me, all right? I know it's a sin. I'm a Catholic. Wait, is it a cliche if I'm a Catholic? I don't even care, because if you saw Demetrius, you would understand. He's got these big lips that he licks all the time. He makes me crazy. I'm like, Demetrius, you licking those lips and making me crazy. He just laughs and slaps my butt. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, her and Demetrius gonna have her baby and live off her mother's minimum wage. Well, I ain't. I got a job. I work here at the Giant Food on Route 30. Nobody can tell yet. I just look like I've had a lot of lasagna. Oh, what? You thought I was gonna say tacos? No way. I love me some lasagna.
Eddie and I met at a church gathering, if you can believe that. Not our church, of course. Neither of us ever went in for that. I mean, my parents took me when I was younger, but no, we was both there with other people. I was there with my friend, Karen Woodring, and Eddie was there with his girlfriend, Kathy. I don't remember her last name. Kathy was a nice girl, dumb as a rock, had
huge boobs. Just huge. Anyway, I guess we sort of knew each other, the way everyone in a small town sort of does. I mean, I'd worked in my dad's store since I was 11, and I'd seen him come in and out over the years. But we never talked, and I was younger than him in school. So at some point, Kathy and Karen and all the other youth group kids left to go to a meeting or whatever. And Eddie and I sat on the swing set, smoked and talked.
I like the kind of flowers that smell.
And something just clicked. He broke up with Kathy and her huge boobs that night.
Telling my mother was the worst. Last night, we was picking out our outfits for the mother-daughter night at school. She was digging through the closet, and I told her. She slapped my face. She told me I'd better look to St. Francis now. Only St. Francis would help me.
He wrote, "Dear Carol,
Dear Carol,
I'm sorry I won't see the boys grow up. You're a good mother, and I know
it's gonna be hard for you now.
I hope you can forgive me for that. Please understand and try to forgive me. Tell the boys I love them. Tell them
I wasn't all bad.
he never did write all that well. He usually just signed his name on things. Last year, I opened my birthday card and he wrote, 'I love you, honey.' I about fell out of my chair."
All right. I'll tell you right now. I ain't gonna say why. You don't get that. And you wouldn't understand anyway. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, he was molested. Or, oh, he was possessed by the devil or something. And I just ain't gonna give it to you. 'Cause if you're still interested in listening to what I gotta say, I'll talk. I'm more than that, you know. I'm more than the why.
If you were a decent wife, those poor girls would still be alive today.
Some woman came up to me in the grocery store. Perfectly normal-looking woman. Came up to me. I was in the hygiene aisle reading some lies on some face lotion. And this woman came up to me, put her cart next to my cart, and said, "If you were a decent wife,
those poor girls would still be alive today."
She said,
"There is a fresh hell where you will join your sicko husband."
And for some reason, I laughed. Oh, I ran out to the parking lot, smearing moisturizer on my face, scratching myself over and over again. But in the moment, I laughed. You do things like that when you're losing your mind.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse and opens fire.
Okay. Titania's speech is like totally smart. She's all like, "I'm the Queen Fairy Oberon. These are the forgeries of jealousy." Okay? But then she starts talking about how the animals are messed up. The crops are messed up. Kids are old before their time. All because her and Oberon are fighting. I like that part. Like it's from all of our fighting that the world is messed up.
I like the kind of flowers that smell. And the color blue. I like cats. We can't have none on account of Carol being allergic, and that's just as well, because those litter boxes are disgusting.
It was the word, sicko.
At the jewelry store in town, the one that Joe Mitchell runs, I got a ring I've been paying off slowly for Carol.
Sicko.
Whenever I can, I'll just pop in and give him $20 or so. Put towards the ring.
Sicko. Sicko.
With the kids and all, we don't have too much extra. But I know that she likes nice things.
Sicko, 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 sicko.
She deserves nice things.
Sicko.
So I decided to look at what St. Francis wrote, because my mother likes him. St. Francis is totally different. St. Francis says, "For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life." That's deep, right? But Titania's so awesome. Which one am I gonna do? I really need my speech for the mother-daughter night to be good.
When we was first dating, I was kind of a wild kid, I guess. I was always trying to get her to come out late with me, after hours and all that. Her folks had a place down on Davis Road. He's a little rancher. He always smelled like pickles. Well, her bedroom was in the back, facing the yard. Well, I'd just stand out there, especially on a warm night, and wait for her to come out and see me. I know I could have just gone up to her window and been like, "Yo, Carol!" But I didn't know. There was something about waiting for her to look out and see me.
This is the man. This is his hat.
Man enters.
I know. I know that magical things happen to people. I mean, I ain't never had nothing magical happen to me that I know of. But I know that magical things happen to people. Like, this one time, my buddy Troy. His dad once got this real bad feeling about their old Chevy truck. Visions of broken glass or something. So he parked it out in the yard and told them they weren't going to drive it for a little while. Well, after a little while, like a week, while they were at the movies, this huge semi went off at 272, hit their truck, and smashed it to pieces. So there's some kind of a something that's out there, but I believe that the real magic happens on the other side. In the places that we can't be. The places that are protected from us.
Okay, I have never met him, but I know his wife. She's always shopped here, since I worked here anyways. She's not that old. Sometimes she'll have one of her kids with her, but mostly she's by herself. I've never met her husband, and thank God. I would be scared of him. So, I passed her in the hygiene aisle. She was like staring at the shelves or reading or something. And it was like she had this invisible thing on her. Like this invisible, heavy, soaked blanket around her neck. Like hanging there. My mother calls that la tristeza del mundo. The sadness of the world. Some people, you look at them and you can see it. I normally help customers find things, because I'm good at it. But I didn't try to talk to her. I don't know why. I guess maybe I was scared she was crazy too or something. She always looked like a normal white lady to me. Just goes to show, everybody's got problems. Like, some people are 16 and pregnant. Some people have daughters who are 16 and pregnant. Some people have crazy husbands.
Sicko, 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 sicko,
There's a
sicko.
fresh hell where you'll join your sicko husband.
I'm sure she's right.
Oh, I ain't proud of it. But come on now, you was thinking it too. You been seeing these pictures of the schoolhouse and the Amish in their buggies? But to be here, where it all happened, and to see these poor people. I mean, the Amish have their ways. They ain't normal, that's clear. But you can see that they're good people.
I've seen the whole thing. This scrawny lady walked up to her in the grocery store, and she said something to her. Not real loud or anything, but I could tell it was bad. 'Cause she ran out. The crazy guy's wife ran out.
Believe me, I ain't never said something so mean in my entire life. But all day, I've been watching the news and feeling so sick and sad. And I saw her there in the grocery store, and something just snapped. It's like my mother always said, that she would hate Mr. Meisner until she was dead. Now, Mr. Meisner was my math teacher that touched me in a mean way when I was about 13. I told my mother, and she told the principal, and he didn't believe her. He just didn't believe her. So she told me that she knew I had to be nice to Mr. Meisner, because he was my teacher, but that not to worry. She would hate him enough for the both of us. You get what I'm telling you? So it's easier for the Amish to do their we forgive him thing if we carry that, you know? If we hold on. Don't get me wrong, the Amish ain't exactly innocent. You don't watch TV or read the newspaper, you're practically making yourself a target. And there ain't a man alive who don't hate going around those damn buggies. How many accidents a year do that cause? And don't even get my husband Ray started on the subject, because he will give you a right earful. Most of the farmers in the area hate the Amish because we are working so hard just to pay the bills, and they're rolling in it, all because they make their kids work, and we buy big farm equipment. Oh, don't get me started. So I ain't exactly sticking up for the Amish, but you gotta draw the line somewhere. I mean, can you imagine? Oh, that's all right, sicko. You just go ahead. Do whatever you want. We'll forgive ya. What's that say to all the other sickos? And don't tell me a wife don't know something like that.
I ran out after her. I don't know what I thought I was going to do. I found her in the parking lot, crouched between some cars. She was smearing moisturizer all over her face all red. I didn't know what to say. She looked like an animal. So I said, "Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?" She said,
You know, why don't you beat it? Beat it, Taco!
I used to watch them while I did my rounds. You ever seen them? I mean, the whole flock of them. In a field or crossing a road. Their little legs and their stockings. The little bib things that they wear. The way that their hair twists up and disappears into their bonnets. It's like all that beauty, all that pink, tucked away under there. Hidden, like a clean secret. They sort of scatter as you come near, but every once in a while if you wave, one of them might wave back.
He came into the schoolhouse as Miss Emma was preparing the blackboard for a spelling exercise. We were in our desks, so he seemed very tall.
I asked if they seen a clothespin I lost along the road.
I know what a clothespin is from my father's farm equipment.
One door, 4 windows.
We say we haven't seen it.
On the chalkboard, there's a sign.
He doesn't look anyone in the eye.
Visitors brighten our day.
Visibly reduces wrinkles, fades dark circles and smooth spine lines. Helps you shave less often.
Man enters Amish schoolhouse.
When he comes back, he has a gun. He tells the boys and Miss Emma to leave. He
I
barricades
barricade
the front door.
I tell the girls to line up along the chalkboard.
There are 10 of us.
I tie their wrists with plastic ties and their feet.
As he ties my wrists, I can smell him.
Their little wrists. This big.
I can see how hard he is breathing. I see the sweat on his chin.
There's a hole in her stocking.
I think of my papa, how I've never seen his chin.
It's like a little O.
This is the man. This is his hat. raises his gun. He said, "Pray for me."
Cuts through tough soap scum fast, soothes as it heals. Instant relief that lasts for hours. Blocks pain.
I start praying to God, trying to feel how God would want me to behave.
It's beautiful.
But my heart is racing. The air feels like wool.
They're beautiful.
He looks at me.
Anna's looking at the man. But I want her to look at me. She's looking at the man. But I want her to look at me.
Seek and ye shall find. The meek shall inherit the earth. New and improved lemony scent.
Some of the littler girls don't know how to speak English yet, so they're speaking quietly in our language.
Damn it!
The police pull up around the school.
No!
Everything is getting louder
Damn it.
and louder. He screams at them. They order him
No.
a microphone thing.
And
Hey.
forgive us our trespasses as we forgive
Not
those
yet.
who trespass against us.
Sweat pours down his face. I can see
No.
his shirt is darker from his sweat. He looks at me, then out at the police.
No.
They scream at him, he screams back. His fingers twitching on the gun. We are lined up against the chalkboard, wanting our mamas, waiting, waiting.
And deliver us from evil.
I wanted to have the girls.
For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever.
I wanted to have the girls.
He's shaking his head.
But the police, they arrived real fast.
He is shaking, shaking, shaking,
I don't know how.
shaking,
So fast.
shaking, shaking.
I didn't get to have the girls!
Then he opens his eyes.
So, I shot him.
Sir, please, shoot me first.
Please, shoot me second.
Felda,
I shot him. Each one. In the head. And then I shot myself.
Take thou my hand, O Father, and lead thou me unto my journey endless eternally. Alone I will not wander my single day. Be thou my true companion, and with me stay.
Man enters.
Amish schoolhouse.
And opens fire. Got back from the store, moisturizer still wet on my face, and the Amish were here. Spent all morning with me. There are about 5 of them huddled here together in the living room, and I was shocked to see them. Shocked because they were here, and then shocked because they're shocking. They're freaks. They have a weird smell. Not bad, really. Just weird. And the women with those bonnets and the cotton dresses, and the men with those blue shirts and the suspenders and the hats. Like another planet. He sat there. His name was Aaron.
The Amish don't normally accept charity. They rarely even use government programs or social security or stuff like that. But given the extent, the scope of this has exceeded the community fund the Amish have for difficult times. And so they accept your donations. I'm sure they would also want me to extend their thanks as well. Aaron has told me they intend to use the money for all the victims, including the gunman's widow and her 2 children. Aaron and many of the other Amish parents went to visit with Mrs. Stuckey earlier this morning. I know many of you have been asking the same questions my students have been asking. How could the Amish forgive this? And yes, of course, yes. And why? Why would someone do this?
Why?
But the Amish believe, and please, this is very important,
Why?
that there is no why.
Why?
That even if we could be in Edward Stuckey's mind as he drove into the schoolhouse, we would never truly understand.
They brought food. I haven't really had a chance to see what they brought. Maybe there were more than 5. It's hard to recall exactly. He's really the only one I remember. He sat there. It's odd the way they wear their beards. Eddie never wore a beard. It was always slow to grow, even after a week. They don't have that mustache part, you know. I think it's the married men who have the beards. Someone once told me they don't have the mustache on account it used to be associated with the military or whatever. But I don't know if that's true. A man's upper lip is such a strange spot. I sat there looking at him, his blonde beard, a little red in it with the sun full coming in the window, his pink upper lip, pink fingernails scrubbed clean. What he and his wife must have been through. What his little girls must have been through.
I guess most of all, I'll miss my family. I'll miss the taste of Mama's peach jam. I'll miss barn parties. I don't know if you know this, but we can have serious parties sometimes. They can get kind of crazy. I love to dance. I love it. I love it when the music is so loud you can feel it in your chest.
Did I tell you they brought food? I haven't really had a chance to see what they brought. Some of them, they sat here with me. And some of them, I guess it must have been the women, went right to the kitchen. And I could vaguely hear them opening the fridge and putting things in. I wished I'd known they were coming. I'd have read up a bit. Do they even have fridges? Well, they must, right? I know some of them use more modern appliances. Like, some have phones or whatever. I don't think in the house. I don't think they have electricity. So how could they have a fridge? They're very polite. They kept deferring to me, to my grief. I wanted to say, stop! Stop! I talk so slow and quiet. I kind of like that. Like you're being read to sleep or something. I just try not to cuss. At one point, I saw something move outside, and I thought, it must be Eddie. It was one of their horses parked in my driveway. A horse in my driveway. I about laughed out loud. I asked him what farm he lived on, and he said the one on Stultz Road. Oh, I know that farm. It's not far from the schoolhouse. It was on Eddie's route. I hadn't been down that way in a good 5-6 years, since the boys were born. Me and Eddie used to ride together in the mornings when we was first married. I wanted to tell him that, the Amish man, about Eddie, but I didn't.
I like the kind of flowers that smell.
I asked him how they were, how his little girls were. And he said, we must trust in God now. Is that right? Trust in God. I love that. I love when people say that crap. Have you turned on the TV lately? Oh, you haven't. You don't believe in TV. Well, isn't that nice for you? Let me fill you in. Stuff